fight, local night fight or local fight night entertainment. Recently, Kenyans were treated to a little bit of a fight in a cage where men, some almost bare knuckle, were slugging it out in what is being called mixed martial arts, but which to me was just an all-out brawl, and whoever beats the other is the winner. And I can't even be able to talk about this enough. We managed to get the president of the local fight night entertainment, Mr. Stephen Omwenga, who's here with us. Thank you very much for joining us, Stephen.
Thank you for having me here.
It's very good to have you here, but we don't understand what is going on. What is this? First of all, what is it called? Local Fight Night Entertainment?
Yes, actually it's Local Fight Night Entertainment, in short LFNE. So this is a local promotion that is geared towards youth development. For a very long time in Kenya, we've had our fighters lack an opportunity to showcase their talent. So Local Fight Night Entertainment came in to fill that, because mixed martial arts, as you all know, is a full contact combat sport. Sometimes it's called cage fighting.
It's called what? Cage fighting?
Yes, cage fighting.
Did you say it's full contact?
Yes, full combat.
So if I am
sport.
Throwing a punch, it's a whole punch?
Absolutely. There's no, there's no anything between it.
But I thought in martial arts is not about full contact. It's just about a touch to score the points.
Now, mixed martial arts is quite different, because we have various mixed martial arts disciplines, and the entire platform borrows from all these other martial arts platforms, like boxing, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, ground fighting, because we employ several skills, including grappling, striking, and ground fighting.
Wrestling.
Wrestling is part of it. And just like our counterparts in the US, Ultimate Fighting Championship, this is a sport that is growing big. And at the moment, we have this MMA frenzy in Africa. Now that we have 3 champions at the UFC, one being Kamaru Usman, the welterweight champion, and then is from Nigeria. We have Francis Ngannou, the world heavyweight champion from Cameroon. Then we have Israel Adesanya.
Wait, him I know. Wait, him I know. Wait, Ngannou I know. James is nodding and even mentioning these names. Like
Francis Ngannou I know. I've seen it. I've seen the highlights.
Yeah.
I'm not very sure of, like he said, how you combine all of them.
No. First of all, is it
but
a
I know
sport?
Ngannou.
What are the rules of this sport? Which federation governs this sport?
Absolutely. It's a sport like any other sport, and just like I've given the definition, in any sport, like for example hockey, football, they are all prone to injuries. Even mixed martial arts is prone.
Let's start with the rules. What are the rules in here? First of all, how long do they stay in the cage?
There are various ways of doing it, because the highest governing body, as you had earlier asked, is the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation, where we've been recognized. But as much as we do not have a local federation yet, but I took those steps and got ourselves recognized at the IWMF. And very soon, with our contacts and all that, what we've created, we might be having Kenya participating at World Championship of MMA. And we have the platform. Locally here, we can host it. Now, the rules are very simple. We have 2 kinds of categories. We have the pro fighters, that's professional, and we have amateur fighters. So amateur fighters takes 3 minutes for 3 rounds. Then pro fighters take 5 minutes for 3 rounds. But those 3 minutes and 5 minutes are held in a cell.
So that means some stay for 9 minutes, the pros stay for 15 minutes. When you're in there, because that's the outside rule. When you're in there, is there any rule?
Absolutely. There are quite some rules. There are things that you cannot do when you're in the cage.
Like?
When you're in the cage, you cannot punch your opponent at the back of the head, because this is a very sensitive area. You cannot gouge the eyes. You cannot do that. You cannot knee to the head when the opponent is down, when you're grappling down and doing ground fight. You can also not go below the belt, as the rule of the thumb.
Crown jewels.
At all costs. No, James, that's the part. Ken, are you understanding this sport?
Yes.
Now, how do you score?
I'm just getting, you're just thrown into a cage.
Yeah, and fight.
The
only rule is don't hit below the belt, don't hit at the back. Otherwise, face me, fight me, and beat me here.
And I've seen they have boxing gloves, eh?
Now,
okay.
No, but that's not for all of them, because the others were not. Those ones look like just pads, just small pads. They're not even gloves
and things on the legs.
Yes, what happens is for amateur events, we do not use boxing gloves. We have MMA gloves, which have a pad and the fingers are exposed for ease of grappling. When you're grappling your opponent, you need to hold. But for boxing, it's a full glove, which you cannot grab your opponent. So, yes.
How do you score?
That's what I'm wondering.
I'm coming there. I'm coming there. Be patient.
When you fall.
I'm imagining if you are to have a championship where you're looking for talent. If you are to start from the beginning, how do you put young people to start fighting each other so that you can select who's going to go to the next level?
There are rules to the fighting.
The reality,
What's the rule?
yes.
The rules where you hit, where you don't hit.
No, actually, the reality of it is that Kenya, we've taken too long to bring this sport into the local scenes. We have so many fighters. I am a mixed martial arts enthusiast. I trained taekwondo way back in 2001. I lacked the platform to showcase my talent. I went back to university. I played some little rugby here and there. Then all that, I went to my professional line. But people out there are making big money from
fighting.
MMA, from fighting. Look at the likes of Conor McGregor. He was the richest sports athlete the whole of 2021. Why? He's participating in mixed martial arts. So in Kenya, once we bring structure, which is what LFNE stands for, that's what LFNE has come to do. We are going to bring structure into this sport. I just heard you saying FKF have recommended a limited company. We already have a limited company managing mixed martial arts. We are already recognized by International Mixed Martial Arts Federation. So all we need to do is to come up together and start a local federation that is going to be the umbrella body that manages all the local mixed martial arts fighters, because there are many. We've had, yes.
Give me numbers. Let's talk numbers. How many Kenyans currently are in LFNE?
Currently, my team is comprised of 20 fighters.
You have a team?
Yes, there's a team comprised of 20 fighters. And the beauty of this is that I did not train them from scratch. These are fighters who had already trained in boxing, karate, taekwondo, various disciplines. And they've trained in gyms like Ultra Fitness Fight in Kilimani. They have trained in Hardcore Gym in Kayole. They have done Liona in all those ones. Then we have fighters from Meru. Because after we did our first 3 events in Nairobi, we took the 4th event to Meru County. It was well received. So I'm telling you, it's absolutely amazing.
I'm sure you're going to tell us the next place you took it to Skisi.
You took it right out of my mouth.
That's what you were going to say. I mean, really. But these are traditionally people who are culturally
violent.
A bit violent. Okay?
Violent.
And they're not afraid of any physical fight.
Yes.
But my fear is, don't you think anybody who feels he has a grudge or wants to fight will join this sport? I mean, how are you going to limit anyone from joining the sport?
Let me tell you, actually, the best thing is, if these people, those who have grudges and all that, those are the best fighters that we need. Because one thing, the rule of mixed martial arts, it teaches you discipline. When I came in, you said I'm a soft-spoken person. All fighters are soft-spoken. Very easy to go with.
I can help you out, actually. Yes. I can help you out. Boxers, taekwondo, wrestling, what's the one thing they all have?
Discipline.
Incredible discipline.
They're very calm people.
Exactly.
They're very calm people. But still,
yes.
Is it not going to, are you not afraid it's going to promote a little bit of violence as well?
Absolutely not. Because
you see, like when you watch the World Cup for football, you'll find kids kicking balls, in the estate. Now, when this comes up, don't you think you'll find young boys hitting each other out because they're also trying to be like the big boys they see on television?
On the contrary, this is a family show. So what happens when I am
family show?
Yes, it is.
In America, in Kenya.
I watch wrestling from as early as 10 years. I've been watching UFC for the last more than 15 years. So by me saying it's a family show, when the young kids watch you live fighting inside the cage, it's like that excitement. They don't want to come and fight. They want to come into the cage. But there are rules before you get into the cage. You must be trained. So kids from as early as 5 years can be trained on any martial arts discipline. Right now we have kids being trained on taekwondo, karate and all that in some of these schools, and it's really exciting. And they grow.
This is just an extra. This is just another. Bernard, I'm on his side. Taekwondo, karate, tongil mudu. This is just another one.
But this one,
yes,
this seems to be
includes everything else.
Yes,
and there's no rule.
Now,
the rule is only don't hit below the belt. No. You can hit anything else and don't hit the back.
The violence rule It's not there.
It's not there.
I can kick your head, I can kick your stomach, I can.
But can't you do the same in taekwondo?
No, but those are not full contact sport.
No.
They're not. This is full contact.
Okay, can't I hit you in boxing? No,
you can.
Yes, you can.
Is there a control for how hard I can hit you in boxing?
The glove is padded.
You can't hit me with your hand, you can't hit me with your leg.
No. But is there a control on how much power you
wait.
No, and you have a glove.
Okay,
Here
guys,
you don't have a glove.
Okay. Let's go back to Stephen.
Scoring.
There's obviously a motivation to this.
Absolutely.
And it must be the money. You're basically offering money for people to beat each other up.
Well, no, that is not the main objective. This is a youth development platform whereby
to develop what in the youth?
We have so many fighters in the country. That's a fact that has been ignored by everybody in this country.
So let's go step by step. So we have so
Yes.
many fighters. What do you mean so many fighters? So many people want to fight, or so many people who are trained in martial arts?
So many people who are trained in martial arts who have the talent, just like athletics, just like football, just like all that. Because in Kenya, we only recognize athletics. Where do the people from taekwondo go after you've trained vigorously in taekwondo? You're just told it's for self-defense. In fact, because I want to showcase my self-defense skills, I'll go and try beat somebody out there. But now, LFNE has come in to give you a solution. If you are an enthusiast of mixed martial arts, come in, we can train you. Then before you get into the cage, there are rules before you go there. We take all your vitals, we do everything, and then you're trained vigorously.
Do they sign a disclaimer in case
Absolutely, yes. That's a standard. It's a standard.
And I'm sure you have a couple of ambulances out when that is happening, because the rate of injury must be very high.
Whenever we have all our events, we always have an ambulance standby. And then we always have a doctor standby to attend to minor injuries. And these are professional athletes. These are people who are trained to do the art. So the likelihood of there being any injuries and all that is just like football. You can easily.
Let's go to the end of the 3 5-rounders for the professionals.
Yes.
So who wins? Who has done what?
What's the scoring?
Who has beaten everybody, or the person who's swollen the most is the loser? Or how do you determine who's the winner?
Now, for the winner, we always have 4 officials. We have the center referee who is inside the cage. Once it's locked, there is the challenger and the opponent and the center referee. Then we have 3 judges whose scoring is just like any martial arts discipline. The fighters should aim at guarding themselves as much as possible. Scoring is by hitting or kicking wherever you like, the head, the ribs and all that. So all these fighters have been trained to protect themselves. Then,
don't use protection and the kicking in one word. Because so here is one fighter who's really kicking the ribs here and kicking the head and all that. So for each kick, that becomes a point.
That becomes a point. So then when you hit like the
because you don't get a point for protecting yourself. You get a point for hitting.
Of course you will not get. So the scoring is that way. Whenever you hit the necessary areas, that's when you start scoring. But the rules are quite strict, and the coach is always there to monitor everything. If you do a mistake by 3 times, you receive 3 warnings, and you might easily be discontinued. And there are several ways of winning. One is judges' decision, whereby the 3 judges will score independently, then they bring all the results together. The winning person will be the one who has scored the most points. The next one will be forfeit. You can forfeit the game. Assuming that when you are training the previous evening for the event, when you're sparring in your gym, you come in and then you're not able to get in because of an injury. All you do is forfeit that game. So your opponent automatically wins by that. Then, yes, let me just give you the winning techniques.
Then is there a technical knockout?
There's a knockout and there's a technical knockout. So technical knockout is advanced because this can come in various ways, whereby your coach can throw in the towel, or the center referee can see that the ground pounding is too much. He comes and comes to your defense. Yeah. Then of course, once you out there, everything goes well. But yes.
Are these fights, are the participants divided into categories like the way you have in boxing, welterweight, heavyweight, that kind of thing? How do you differentiate?
Absolutely.
Because you don't want a more experienced person fighting a weakling and stuff like that.
Yeah, before we get you into the cage, there are a series of examinations that you go through. So all those things put together, then we have different weight classes. We have the flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight, all those categories. Currently, we have 3 champions in Kenya. We have a Divas champion. Unfortunately, she lost to the Ugandan lady who came in. Uganda is they're very tough. Then we also have a featherweight of men. It's called Moha. Then we have a middleweight champion, Mr. William Odino. And through the shows that we've been putting up, William Odino got an opportunity to go and showcase his talent in South Africa in a show dubbed Scaffold Search. So we were there for like a whole week. He went there, participated from the semi-finals all the way.
What did you call it again?
The show.
Star Search.
Scaffold Search.
There was no star there. It was a
Scaffold Search.
Yeah,
now,
Scaffold
Scaffold Search
Search
is an event that is going to be premiered on Netflix.
It's a scaffold, all right, okay.
Yes, so the fighters out there in South Africa, they are so professional, they are so qualified, and there's a lot of discipline.
What's the biggest prize money that has been given to the local fighters here in Kenya?
Well, locally, we've just started. So basically, the highest has been up to 100,000 whenever the event is so good. But then because we have so many challenges, because this sport is at its inception stage. So we are trying to put shows together. One thing I can say is local fighters are not brands on their own because this fighter is just known in their locality. But when we have partners coming on board, when we talk about mixed martial arts, we are getting these fighters to become brands because these are people like the Ugali man. He's a brand because he did something very unusual. So when we have a middleweight champion,
he was fighting with food. he was not fighting in there, but anyway, that's what he did. Well, okay, it's good. We understand what's going on, but I don't know if there's going to be a local federation that is going to sanction this, and I don't know whether it needs sanctioning by a local federation either.
Well, as far as we adhere to the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation and all that, yes, because we are not the first African country to be in mixed martial arts. South Africa is very good because they have the best promotion called EFC, Eagle Fighting Championship in South Africa. That's the only platform. Uganda are coming up because they also have One Zone MMA, which just started the other day. LFNE has been here for almost a year plus. So definitely the local, it's only that we've taken quite long.
Are you in compliance with the Sports Act?
Okay.
Are you in compliance with the Sports Act?
Well, definitely we are, because what's happening, what we've not done is established.
No, but you can't be compliant because you're not a federation.
His company, his is a company, it's a limited company now. If you've seen, whether he says UFC or the South Africa one,
those
or
are
whichever,
companies.
they're all companies. So
yes.
basically how this runs, if I'm getting it correctly, is that the companies then organize these things. Now there's an international body, the IMMF, but then now Kenya still hasn't started its own local federation, which actually might be my clarion call to you.
Yes.
We need to have that body coming because
absolutely.
I know they may be skeptical, but I have gotten it. I've listened to you and I've seen where it's coming from. This is just like boxing. It's just that it combines all of them into one.
And the fight platform is no longer the cage. It's not the ring. Boxing ring. It's a cage.
It's a cage.
It's
not
okay.
a ring.
I understand it.
Okay.
The only thing is it cannot be a league like boxing, for example. I know that for sure. But this is a winner take it all kind of situation, isn't it?
Well,
in that weight category.
One of our objectives is actually to roll out to all the 47.
No, but I'm saying
countries.
in the ring, it's a winner take all. You can never do a round robin. You can never say this fighter fights this one and then fights this one and then fights this one and we see who has the most points. Okay?
We definitely can do that because if we have in different weight categories, we have 10 featherweights. How do you determine who is the best featherweight in the country? By pulling them, they have to fight through a league, which we can establish like locally and have it completely.
Again,
in
this
all the
is
47
just like
countries.
boxing, guys.
Yes.
This
Right,
is
okay.
completely just like boxing.
Yes.
Okay, James seems to have
And
gotten
actually,
it. So
I
watch
think
out for some familiar faces in the cage.
I'm sure, Bernard, I told you this before.
Yeah.
Mixed martial arts is going to get to the Olympics before long.
It is. I know. For the
It's on its
entertainment
way.
value of it, for the entertainment. But when it does, I'm sure it will come with new rules. I am 100% sure there will be rules governing it when it comes.
But there are rules governing
No,
it.
not in that context. But
Yes.
there will be rules to make it slightly more entertaining. You know the way you have freestyle wrestling
Yes.
and you have the Olympic wrestling. Those are two different things.
Yes.
Freestyle wrestling is actually more
active.
entertaining
Yes.
than the
It's more
Olympic
active than
Greco-Roman.
anything else, yes.
There's 60% of just showmanship in it, and I'm sure even that when it gets to Olympics will be more of showmanship than anything else, and we'll see.
And
Probably yes.
Probably that's why it has not reached there yet, because the International Mixed Martial Arts, they are putting up a show of their own championship in the world, and there are quite some rules which are governing the body, the governing body uses.
Okay.
So definitely, it's no sooner we will be there.
We understand you and we accept. We are converted already, so don't worry about it. But we have a couple of things that we need to talk about. I'm sure you enjoy football, don't you? A little bit of it?
A little bit of it.
Well, rugby, do you enjoy rugby?
I play rugby.
You play rugby.
I
You
was
know
a
about
rugby
the
player.
transgender rule now. The women will not be allowed to play in the elite women event.
Yes,
You've heard
I've
about
just
it.
heard
What's your
about
comment
it.
on that?
Well, I support it fully.
You do,
because
okay.
yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
support it. Okay.
Now, in Nigeria, now let's start from Cameroon. You know Samuel Eto'o.
Yes.
He's been accused of tax evasion.
Yes.
To some insane kind of money. It runs into billions and all that.
Yes.
But then he has been given a suspended sentence. 22 months, was it? But
Yes.
he's suspended.
He's
Suspended
given
just means
22 months.
if you repeat it again, we'll
Yeah.
put you in jail. But now we won't.
And he has accepted to pay the fine, 3.25 million pounds, which translates to about
3.25 million pounds.
4.7 billion Kenya shillings.
Okay.
He's going
For
to
you
pay.
guys, it's big money, but for Eto'o, I think it's something
But
you
you
can
see,
pay off
you
quickly.
know
as a man.
what's even more tantalizing is the fact that he said it's okay, I accept, I'll pay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
he
his,
didn't
and
pay.
his agent, for your information, who was fined 905,000 euros, translating to about 113 million Kenya
905
shillings.
what?
905,000 euros.
1,000 euros.
So that's 113
Yeah, if
million
for
Kenya
Eto'o this is
shillings.
small money, you
And
can
I'm
imagine
sure-
for the agent. And the agent has
It's
many
his
other
dad,
players
it's his
as well,
father
you know?
anyway,
Okay.
Jose Maria.
Right, so anyway, he said he's going to pay it, so it's not a problem, and that has been suspended. Nigeria, the president has told the federation to incorporate other people as well. Have elections that are inclusive.
And make sure you have them as scheduled. That's the main thing.
Is this government interference or not?
No, this is just someone taking care of things before, because this is what he said, according to the letter.
Yes.
Amend your statutes to reflect the national yearnings, aspirations, and peculiarities of Nigeria, while aligning with the principles and objectives of football of FIFA.
Okay.
That's his.
You know,
that's what he said.
That sounds nice and easy, but it's coming from a president.
Yes.
You know,
So he's saying,
the
don't
thing
get.
is, when these things come from the president,
Yes.
you know who's under there? The sports minister will have to interpret it.
Yes.
Then the secretary will have to interpret it before it gets
Basically,
to the
what he's
president.
saying, before we get to the level where, for example, Kenya got, he's saying, guys, let's not get there. You and you and you do what you're supposed to do. There's a guy who went to court in January. He's been told, please settle out of court, everyone. These elections must continue.
That's basically an order.
Yeah.
Yes.
But why is it that here then, if an order is issued, then it becomes government interference?
He's doing it beforehand. As we went and disbanded the thing, him is saying, guys, your elections are set for September. Make sure you have them. Make sure you involve everyone. Make sure you include our peculiarities as Nigerians. Make sure this case, please sort it out of court. Do this. He's saying it in advance. As guys, we said, President and your cahoots, go home.
In fact, the key thing for Nigeria is that objectives of football are set by the sports governing body, FIFA.
Okay.
That now absolves them from anything.
All right, gentlemen, we're running out of time now. You got 1 minute to tell us about Dennis Mara in golf. 1 minute.
Dennis Mara, immediate past captain Limuru Country Club, won the Kenya Amateur Match Play Championship last weekend, a Royal. He then becomes the first individual to qualify for the Magical Kenya Open 2023 version.
Thank you very much. James, you've got 1 minute. Tell us about Osaka.
Naomi Osaka,
not the company that she has formed that is creating a buzz in this part of the world. You've got to be adept to international languages and know that's just what it is. You have to pronounce it the way it is.
Yeah, I have a feeling that when they were doing it, they didn't have Africa and
no, we are not going to
Swahili
talk
in mind.
about that. Let's talk
But
about
anyway,
her coming out of Wimbledon. The company is called Hanakma, and I
Yes.
don't know why people have a problem with it.
That's why I'm saying, and it has nothing to do with the Swahili language.
Japanese.
However, this is Kenya, this is East Africa. We like our social media, so of course it had to trend. Anyway, news is she's not going to Wimbledon. She's struggled with a tendon injury, and she says, you know what, tried, it's not working. But on the flip side, Serena Williams will be at Wimbledon. I've seen
For
her
the
play a
World Cup.
couple of warm-up games, and I
Okay.
tell you what, it's the hope.
Anthony
that
Joshua Usyk fight. It's a big fight. It's already been set. It's been set for the 20th. Is it? Or you want to comment on that? You love this one. Go ahead, Stephen.
It's a big sport, and I think Anthony Joshua might take. I'm actually betting for him. Then before that, we had the Gypsy King, and
Yes.
we have Nganu trying to challenge the Gypsy King. So basically, what's happening? That's where big money is. And that's why we have Nganu challenging his contract at the UFC.
Yeah, but you know this one is good because it's going for it's going to try and amalgamate the belts.
All
You know,
the
there are
belts.
3 belts. You know?
It's not going to be easy, but still, Anthony Joshua is just Anthony Joshua. He'll win.
You think it's going to be going?
He's
with it?
gonna be.
All right, gentlemen. We have to move very quickly as well. What's going on over the weekend? We start with you, James.
Kenya national trials, the road to Oregon starts tomorrow and Saturday at Kasarani. Kenya is picking a team to go to the World Championships in Oregon and the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. So really, really important. If you love your athletics, make your way to Kasarani. World-class action for absolutely...
A mini Olympics, a mini World Championship.
Exactly.
Okay, that's why they wanted in Paris, you know, that's because they were preparing for this. What else is happening over the weekend?
The WRC, of course, is continuing
Absolutely,
in Naivasha.
in Naivasha.
It's a good excuse to be in Naivasha at this time of the year. We also have on Sunday the elections of my beloved AFC Leopards. Let's see how that goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They made some money today, so maybe the incumbents will be probably... Is that your team as well, in terms of football?
Locally, no, I don't.
Look, you don't support any team locally?
No, I don't.
That's unfair.
Like
how do we support you?
Shabana guy.
No, how do we support you with your sport?
Well, what happens is I'm a strong fan of the Mashemeji Derby.
Okay.
And I always support the winning team.
All right.
Which means
Politically correct answer.
for the last how many years he's been supporting God.
He just wants to be politically correct. He wants to be politically correct. He's just trying to bring up a sport. Now you can imagine if you put the funds against the sport. That's what he's doing at the moment.
No.
Yeah, well done.
I'm not putting funds.
Good one. Well then, we have to leave it there for today. I was expecting to see your answers on, or your comments on this issue of transgender. A good number of people are saying they should be allowed to compete. We should have made a comment that they are thinking of having an event for them specifically, separately from the other events as well. But about 4 or 5 answers are to the fact that they should be allowed to compete. 2 of them saying no, they shouldn't because they have an unfair advantage. We're going to leave it there. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming. Stephen, for coming as well. Ken and James. We'll do this again next week, same time, on the same channel at 10 o'clock on Scoreboard here on KTN News. Goodbye for now.